risk. I got news for you. You put a cup of Drano on the kitchen table and walk away for 10 minutes. At that point, it's a roll of the dice whether or not you're rushing your kid to the ER later that day. I'm sorry. That's the risk that comes along with this stuff. It's like the fireworks explosions. Oh, my God. I can't believe, like, your guy's house caught on fire and he lost half an arm. Oh, you think? No kidding. Like, when this stuff pops up, I'm not surprised at all. Do you think this is going to stop happening? Do you think we're never going to hear another story about a guy sabotaging his career for gambling? Really? You think this is it? Like we've reached the ceiling? No. We've only scratched the surface. This is going to continue to happen. And I'd also say this for people that say, well, you shouldn't have let it in the sport at all. No. That's not. Just because somebody gets stabbed doesn't mean you stop selling knives. Just because somebody beats their neighbor to death with a hammer doesn't mean you close down Ace Hardware. It doesn't work that way. You are giving players the ability, if they choose, to jeopardize their career. Some are going to do it. Most aren't. But this doesn't mean that you just get rid of it from well, I mean, if you're going to take all this money, I mean, what do you expect? No, you expect that players are going to look at this and make the right decision. But some people can have a hammer and use it to build something. And then some people can have a hammer and use it to break something. And some of these players have chosen this. When this stuff pops up and people are looking at the details of it, like he's betting on rebounds and pitch. I mean, this whole, did nobody think this through? No, you just didn't think it through. This was always a possibility. It doesn't mean you get rid of them all. You get rid of every gambling affiliation with every sport or whatever. No, you don't do that. You just understand this is what could happen. This is what could happen. There are some people that are going to make mistakes and some people who are not going to.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
Off and running on a Saturday afternoon. Nice job, Ahmed. Welcome. We're live from Lone Depot Park in Miami on an 86-degree, yet another sticky Saturday afternoon. A homey 78 degrees inside the broadcast booth. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio, Fox Sports 940, Miami. Game 87 of 162, even with the Marlins losing last night. It was a dynamic crowd at Lone Depot Park. Fans were with this group pitch by pitch, and Miami just came up short, dropping game 1 6-5. But the Fish haven't lost a game by more than a run since June 21st. They've still won 16 of their last 20 and have won Cal Quantrill's last 3 starts. We're pumped to bring you the middle game, game 2 of this 3-game set between the 49 and 39 Milwaukee Brewers and your 39 and 47 Miami Marlins. Chad Patrick, another arm that may have found a home in Milwaukee, makes his 18th start of the season. The aforementioned Cal Quantrill takes the ball for Clayton McCullough's Marlins today. Cal's pitched to a 3.8 ERA over his last 10 starts. We get going today at 4:10 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Saturday afternoon with Jack McMullen and former Marlins All-Star Gabby Sanchez. I'm Steven Strom. Got a great show for you ahead. We thank you for your participation. We want to lead with Jansen Junk today, and he doesn't pitch. He does pitch Monday, but today we saw him throw a live pitch design. More on that in just a little bit. Clayton McCullough, he joined Jack and I actually yesterday on a podcast, but we got some great bites from him, including one on Otto Lopez I'd love to share with you. What has unlocked his offense? We'll get you to the count with Patrick and Cal. Jack will jump in for some back and forth. Got some discussion on Jesus Sanchez and the homestand that he has had thus far. Our X-Poll question of today at Marlins Radio and Steve's guarantee to victory. We'll start here with Jansen Junk and what we've seen from the Marlins training differently. And the one we're going to focus on this afternoon is this live pitch design session. This is arms facing live batters instead of a traditional bullpen that I think, for the most part, pitchers can go through the motions at the times. Now, with the Marlins organization, they have implemented this from spring training. Jansen Junk was out there today after tossing 6 frames of 2-run ball against the Twins a couple of days ago, and we wanted to explore the details of what went into a pitch design with our very own Jack McMullen.
Walk me through what a live pitch design session looks like for you in between starts.
Yeah, pretty much the live pitch design is kind of changing a normal bullpen into a little bit more game-like scenario, but keeping intent like it would be a bullpen. So you're having hitters in there taking live reads, sequencing like you would in a game, and I think it really helps lock in just a little extra, so making it easier on those game days. Right now it's just more maintaining, improving shapes, and like different execution points, reading the hitter's swing, stuff like that. So for me, the biggest thing was I noticed in San Fran, my sweeper was getting a little bit smaller. It was starting to lose the average sweep to it. So the biggest thing going into the week was let's get that slider movement back. And doing so, using a bigger ball in my hand, so like a softball, and being able to get on the side of it allows you to get that sweep and that movement that you want. So when I went to a normal ball, it kind of is like muscle memory. Oh, this is how we were on the big softball, and allows me to get on the side of them a little bit more, where before I was getting a little bit behind it or I was getting too much in front of it. So the softball really helps blend the in-between and allows you to just get on the side of it more. So that's pretty much been the focus the last few weeks, is just making sure the shapes are there.
After you go to the softball and you get that feel, are Alon Leishman and Daniel Moskis pretty much saying, hey, remember that feel of the softball? How are they coaching you through one of those sessions?
Pretty much, they got me onto the softball. They've used it with other guys. I've never used it before, but they're like, hey, like maybe you should try this and see how you like it. I think that's the biggest thing. They're just offering tools to help you get better. If you don't like it, then they won't force you to do anything. If you don't like doing this, they won't force you to do anything. It's kind of just understanding of the person. But the communication specifically is just, we're so, at this level, you're so finicky and tinkering. Like, you're not developing a whole lot during the season.
You're in survival mode.
Yeah. You're just like tinkering with stuff, tweaking things, just making it a little bit better there. So the communication is just like making sure the feel's right, coming off the ball. And I think the biggest feedback is from the ball to me, myself, and understanding that feeling, and then kind of just going into there, keeping that feeling. And they can see on the iPad with the TrackMan and stuff that, you're getting a little bit too far ahead, you're a little bit too behind it, we want this axis, we want that. So that's kind of like, it's like a final check. They come in, final check, say that's good, that's not good, let's try this, let's try that. So it's like, personally, me as a pitcher, you put it in the work, get the feels, and then over here it's like a check in the box.
Got you. Yeah. Thank you so much for the peek behind the curtain. That was awesome, Jansen.
Thank you, anytime.
Steven.
All right, that was a fantastic spot right there. And with Jansen Junk, He continues to impress this Marlins organization. And honestly, a big check for me in the box of is this guy a legitimate starter? Can he respond after a rough one in San Francisco? He did just that in Game 2 against the Twins just a couple of days ago. We will see Jansen Junk on Monday night in Cincinnati. We will break. We will find and talk to yet another guy that Peter Bendix found, diamond in the rough, Otto Lopez, who continues to swing a hot stick. Clayton McCullough will talk about what's been different for Otto at the plate. That's all next on the Marlins Radio Network.
He comes set again. He's got Sanchez at first, Edwards at third. Nobody gone. The 2-2 to Otto Lopez is on the way. And that one, a ground ball, could be 2. Ortiz charging. He scoops to second for 1. On to first, not in time. And the first run comes in. Edwards scores from third base. It is a 6-4 fielder's choice, but another RBI for the RBI machine right now. Otto Lopez, it's 1-0 Fish in the first. That one, a little swinging bunt in front of the mound. The pitcher, Priester, picks it up. He lofts it. He airmails the first baseman, Bowers. Throw goes to third base as X was pushing, and that ball gets away from the third baseman, Durbin. So Edwards comes in to score. Sanchez pushes to second, and the Brewers are throwing the ball around the ballpark.
We would call that a snowball fight. That's what it looked like, especially on that sinker. He also throws that cutter, so that cutter's going to look the same.
Pitch to Connor Norby. He drills out to right center and deep. Frelick back, track, wall. It is gone. Early pyrotechnics. Connor Norby. He's getting right. 5th homer of the year. A solo shot to right center. And it's a 2-run game. 5-3 Milwaukee in the bottom of the 4th.
Decision that he was going to go.
Pitch to Otto Lopez. That's deep enough. That one drilled out to left and deep. It is gone. Tied at 5. Otto pounces.
I would love that, actually.
Imagine.
0-2. That one, a little swinging bunt, third base side. That's going to be a fair ball. Bender picks it up. He fires to first. It's in time. Anthony Bender saves a run. Pitchers are athletes.
Year, good Greek.
Good Greek, moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Pitch to Otto Lopez. That's deep enough. That one drilled out to left and deep. It is gone. Tied at 5. Otto pounces.
I got to tell you, Kyle Stowers' opening day chills yesterday was up there with that crowd, that buzzing crowd here at Lone Depot Park. Otto Lopez tying the ball game up for the Marlins. He is, of course, back in the lineup playing short and batting third. Don't miss a moment of Marlins action. Download the iHeartRadio app. Make Fox Sports 940 the top preset. Then listen to every Marlins game. Yes, Otto Lopez, he has been sensational over this stretch for the Miami Marlins. He continues to produce, and quite honestly, he's making a late all-star push. He homered and drove in 3 runs yesterday. He's batting .346 with 3 home runs and 19 RBIs over his last 13 games. And here was Clayton McCullough on what's been the big difference for him offensively.
Why do you feel like Otto Lopez has gotten better offensively since the move to short?
I think in some ways, like Otto, a guy like him, to be one, he earned it, but provided the chance to play shortstop every day. I think a lot of for someone that takes a more of a windy path to here to now, okay, you're going to be our starting shortstop is, I think, from a big confidence boost. Like, wow, not only these guys believe in me, as someone that can contribute and play every day, but now I'm going to slide over and play, a premium position on a regular basis. That was a big confidence boost for him, and the offensive ability was there. I mean, like these guys always made a lot of contact. He's impacting the ball differently than he has in the past. He's as well tightening up his strike zone. And, now it's like, okay, I think Otto at least sees that he knows he can play every day in the big leagues. Like, I think he's kind of past that now, and you're not looking over your shoulder anymore, wondering if you're going to be in the lineup the next day or what's going to happen. I know I'm going to be there. And so I can just focus on what I need to do to, be able to be a productive player on both sides.
Well, there you have it. And yes, for Otto Lopez last year, the Marlins picked him up off of the waiver wire, and he was inserted into this lineup for the Marlins last year and you saw the defensive ability, and you saw the bat at times. It just, again, wasn't consistent. And that's what the Marlins are trying to figure out here for the future. Who can consistently put up good ABs, and when the league adjusts, what is your next adjustment? We saw Kyle Stowers make it, and we're starting to see Otto Lopez really break through. And the big reason, like Clayton McCullough said, shortstop is a premier position. It kind of felt like probably a promotion from going from second base to shortstop, and it showed in the numbers. As a second baseman this season, Otto Lopez in 31 games, 233 on the batting average with a 647 OPS, 3 home runs, and 15 RBIs. You fast forward to what he's done at the shortstop position, 39 games, so 8 games more than he had at second base. He's hit 274 with 6 home runs and 29 RBIs. He's nearly doubled his RBIs, and that OPS is at 776. It's been awesome to watch Otto through this stretch. We will see if he can continue it here this afternoon against the Brewers. He is back at shortstop and, of course, batting third. Coming up next, the key to Cal Quantrill and Chad Patrick, who will throw for Milwaukee. We'll get you ahead of the count. That is all coming up as Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
2-1. That one lifted out to left center field. Hill and Myers converging. Derek Hill calling for it. D. Hill's got it. And that is how this ball game ends. Horsepower on the hill. Edward Cabrera for 7, scoreless. Bender with a 1-2-3 eighth. And Ronnie Enriquez does the same in the 9th. And for the first time since 2008, your Fighting Fish have won 8 in a row.
Early. So they reacted and said, all right, let's go, breaking balls away.
First pitch, Stowers rips that one up the gut and through that hit the umpire Emil Jimenez. Jesus Sanchez around second. He comes in to score, but Jimenez is saying, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. That hit him on the leg, and that will in all likelihood.
The bench, and they're like, no, we see you as a future starter.
1-1. That one rolled over to short. Could be 2. Lee on to second for 1. On to first. Not in time. A fielder's choice. And that brings in the first run. Xavier Edwards scores from third base. It is an RBI for Otto Lopez. He's right back on that RBI groove. A 6-4 fielder's choice. It's 1-0 Marlins in the bottom of the first.
Right up there. Oh, goodness.
1-2. Otto on the move again, and Augustine smacks a ball out to left center. No doubt about it. Lucky number 13 for Augustine Ramirez. An ambush. 425 feet on the homer, and it's 3-0 Fish right away. This roster, it's the youngest roster in Major League Baseball. A 1 pitch. Sanchez rips that one off the mound. That pinballs into center field. That's in for a base hit. And Edwards around third. He comes in.
And you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Thanks for hanging out with us on a Saturday afternoon. Marlins Radio live from Lone Depot Park, Game 2, middle game. Marlins and the Brewers. Marlins took 2 out of 3 against the Twins in the week of the Battle of the Midwest, and looking to respond here this afternoon. Punch back. Marlins have won 4 consecutive series. That streak is on the line with Cal Quantrill going opposite Chad Patrick. Jack McMullen and Gabby Sanchez have your call at 410. I'm Steven Strom. Hello, everyone. And Ahmed is back in the studio holding things down. Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to every Marlins game this season. Let's get you ahead of the count. We will start here with Chad Patrick, another one of these guys that the Milwaukee Brewers kind of let bounce around from team to team, and then they ended up making him into something. 26-year-old right-hander from Crown Point, Indiana. He was a 4th-round pick in the 2021 draft by the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was then traded to the Athletics in 2023 and then traded to Milwaukee in November, that offseason of 23. He had a sensational year in 2024. He was the International League Pitcher of the Year for the affiliate with the Milwaukee Brewers. He comes into today with a 3-7 record, a 3.51 ERA, 18 games, 17 starts, so only one game out of the pen, 89 2/3 innings pitched, 93 Ks to 29 walks. Now, it's kind of been up and down for him. In May, he was really good, 2-2, 3.32 ERA, 38 innings pitched. He struggled in the month of June, and the Milwaukee Brewers did not help him out. The Brewers lost all 5 of Chad Patrick's starts, and the ERA went from 3.32 to 4.85 in 26 innings pitched, so he wasn't get the length either. Now, some interesting numbers I did want to throw out before I get into his last start against Colorado. Righties, 8 home runs with a 237 batting average. Lefties, 1 home run with a 283 batting average. So he's sacrificing the average on the left side, but righties are having more slug against him with Chad Patrick. We'll try to unveil that and reveal it with our pitching expert, Jack McMullen. Now, Patrick did not factor on Sunday in a 4-3 loss to the Colorado Rockies, but it was his best start in quite some time. 5 scoreless, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 8 punch-outs. He features a 4-seamer, a cutter, a sinker, a slider, and a changeup. But, folks, really, that slider and changeup, he doesn't throw a ton. That cutter, he throws about 42% of the time, 4-seamer 22%, and sinker 22%. I got to be honest with you, I was not great at math, but 42 plus 22 plus 22, that's pretty close to 100. So we can pretty much eliminate that slider and the changeup. Cal Quantrill, 30-year-old right-hander from Port Hope, Ontario, will make his 17th start today. He's 3-7, a 5.42 ERA, 73 innings pitched. He battled on Sunday, admitted that he didn't feel great, but he allowed 2 runs on 3 hits over 5 frames, 54 of 87 pitches, 4 strikes. The Marlins have won the last 3 from Cal Quantrill, and I will give some respect to Cal. The last 10 starts for him, 3.88 ERA, 20 earned, and 7 in it, and 246 on the opposing batting average. His start was not great. His first 6 starts to the season, he had an 8 ERA. He's lowered it to a 3.88 over his last 10. And again, the Marlins have won Quantrill's last 3 starts against the Phillies, the Giants, and the Diamondbacks. So Chad Patrick and Cal Quantrill will kick off the festivities here in the middle game on this Saturday afternoon. We'll break. We'll talk Jesus Sanchez and why the splits are the way they are with Chad Patrick. 4:10 first pitch right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
1-2, both runners on the move. Augustine slaps one down the right field line. Long run for McCarthy. He's not going to get there. It short hops the wall, and it gets over the wall. Both runners were off and moving. Sanchez will score from second. It was a ground rule double. That'll send Otto Lopez back to third base, but it is an RBI for Augustine Ramirez, and 4 hitters in. It's 2-0 pitch. 108 plus every time. 1-0 pitch. That one a line drive. That's a fair ball. Down the left field line. Gurriel tracking it into the corner. Blake Lally going to send Stowers. Here comes the relay throw home. It's bobbled by the shortstop Perdomo in shallow left. And that is an RBI double for Eric Wagman.
And chucks it towards first or home plate.
2-1. That one lifted out to right field and deep. McCarthy is back at the track. And that is gone. Otto Lopez is on fire right now. Make it a 9-game hitting streak, and he cuts the Marlins deficit in half. It's a 2-run home run the other way, and it's 7-5 Arizona in the top of the 8th. 1-1. That one a line shot right up the gut and throw for a base hit, and all of a sudden it's a 1-run game. Augustine Ramirez scores from third base. Liam Hicks, the other catcher, drives him in. It's an RBI knock, 7-6. After a 3-spot in the top of the 8th. 1-2. Hernandez swings. He lifts one out to right. That should be deep enough. McCarthy gearing it up. Jake McCarthy makes the catch. He sails to throw home. Myers with a head first dive. First pitch from Murillo to Ramirez. That one a bouncing ball. That's past the glove of the first baseman Smith into right field for a base hit. They're sending Otto. McCarthy's throw is cut off. Head first dive takes Otto in, and Augustine Ramirez immediately plates the place run. It's 8-7 in the top of the 10th. Next pitch, a little dribbler right in front of the mound. 14.
Back here on the Marlins Radio Network, Game 2. Marlins looking to extend this consecutive win streak as far as series are concerned. They dropped Game 1 last night. Awesome Awesome game, though. Awesome environment. Brewers did end up edging out the Marlins 6-5. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez, and Jack joins us now. It's weird. Going into this pregame, Jack, there wasn't a ton of meat on the bone as far as content is concerned. And I thought you had a great spot with Jansen Junk. We heard from Clayton McCullough on Otto Lopez, but I feel like the next biggest story was Jesus Sanchez's at-bat last night. Just able to fend off McGill and make this thing a little bit more interesting. He's been awesome on this homestand, and I want to get to Clayton McCullough on what he had to say as far as Jesus Sanchez is concerned.
Jesus has looked great. He really has consistently put together good at-bats. He's a presence in the box, and the at-bat last night against McGill, it's a real arm. The swings he got off on that type of velocity, he was on it, and then also to be able to lay off some breaking balls, end up working that at-bat, that juncture in the game with a lot on the line there, and work a walk. Terrific at-bat, just to kind of pass it along. But he took some swings. He got off there. He was, he's close to, he looks great, and I expect that Jesus, some of the luck will turn his way.
So that was Clayton McCullough today on Jesus Sanchez. And it was funny, Jack, one of the guys I highlighted in this lineup, because it was all about the offense coming into this homestand, was Jesus Sanchez. And through 4 games in this early month of July, this homestand, he's 7 for 15 with a couple of doubles, a couple of triples, and 1,300 OPS. Just what have you seen from Sanchez, maybe from an adjustment standpoint, or what's been different about him at the plate these last couple of days?
Yeah, I've seen this guy be way more comfortable than I think we saw him for about a month before that. And when he first came on this year after dealing with that oblique issue at the outset of the season, I was saying, okay, Sanchez, he's looking much more patient than I was expecting him to look. I mean, this is year 1 for me. I watched him from afar, and I knew that this guy, number 1, struggled against left-handed pitching. Number 2, against right-handed pitching, can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but can expand the zone at points. And what we saw for the first month of his season was that he wasn't expanding the strike zone. And then he started to expand a little bit. And it was like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? And now what I've seen over the last couple of weeks is this guy getting back to that first version of Santi that we saw this year, where he's taking pitches and he's doing his best rendition of a Soto shuffle. And he's smacking his chest when drawing a 9-pitch walk. But that was the type of walk that can get a crowd on its feet, and it literally did. That was the best walk of the season.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But it really was an amazing at-bat. And to your credit, Jack, you're 100% right. His walk rate last year, 7.6%. This year, it's at 9.1. I completely agree. He's starting to control the strike zone. He will bat second and play right field. Now, he will go opposite Chad Patrick. And I talked to the audience about this, and ahead of the count, Chad Patrick against the right side, 8 home runs, a 237 batting average. From the left side, 1 home run, 283. Chad Patrick is a right-hander. Why is this the case, Jack?
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I'm kidding. So here's the deal. He's got a couple of pitches that can become flaw pitches, right? So you mentioned the homers hit by right-handed hitters. He throws a couple of pitches. He's kind of 2 pitchers, and there are a lot of guys that are kind of 2 pitchers based on whether they're seeing left-handed hitters or right-handed hitters. And I want to make sure that I get the mix perfectly right, so I'm looking at my book here because I wrote it down. Against left-handed hitters, Chad Patrick, his go-to pitch is a cutter. He goes to that about 40% of the time, right? So against left-handed hitters, he's cutter, 4-seam, changeup. I remember seeing this guy in Nashville in AAA. That changeup was really good, and it's slice and dice through the Indianapolis team that I was calling. That changeup was really, really good. But then against right-handed hitters, he's cutter, sinker, slider. He throws the cutter a lot. Cutter will get hit out of the ballpark if it is mislocated. He also has good characteristics on the fastball, so he'll get a lot of pop-ups on the fastball. The sinker has the second most homers. There have been 3 homers hit against this sinker to this point.
Okay.
So what that means to me is that in right-on-right matchups, he's trying to get away with the sinker to mix in the sinker along with the cutter slider, and sometimes the sinker is over the heart of the plate. Mistakes over the heart of the plate with a sinker get
kind of
hit
seeing what we're
harder.
seeing with Sandy.
Exactly. That's why 99 from Sandy isn't playing like 99 from Yuri Perez. We talked about that last night. Yuri can get away with mistakes with a 4-seam fastball because of the shape and the characteristics. Sandy, his sinker runs right into bats when it's not properly located. So I think what you're seeing, the power surge from right-handed hitters, are just improperly located cutters and sinkers to righties. He doesn't really go to that sinker at all against lefties.
Very good. Okay, so for Cal Quantrill today, Jack, how would you sum up these last 10 starts for Cal. I mean, you look at the overall numbers and the ERA is good. The length isn't where I know Cal wants it to be, but it feels like every single fifth day, like the Marlins are in a position to win a ball game.
I think they're in a position to win a ball game, but I think it's a higher effort position to win a ball game. I would say good, but a protected good for Cal Quantrill. This is not a guy that you're giving the keys to the front 6 innings to. And that's become abundantly clear. At the end of the day, he's going to get you 2 turns through. And then when you run into that meat of the order, third time through, whether it's Yelich or Chorio, whoever you may identify, that's when Quantrill comes out of the game and you go to a guy that's stuffier like Lake Bacher. So I think the role that Cal is filling right now, get us through 18 hitters, he's doing a really good job of that. So I think it's been really solid so far over the last 10, and I think he's settling in to that role right now.
This is game 5 of 13 straight, Jack. We will see how Clayton McCullough manages this bullpen. There is no off day until the All-Star break. Cal Quantrill, again, we talked about the length. We will see how the manager maneuvers here this afternoon. You'll hear Jack and Gabby at 4:10. We'll break here 12 minutes away from first pitch. Steve's Guarantee Expo question. It's all next on the Marlins Radio Network.
2-1. That one lifted out to left center field. Hill and Myers converging. Derek Hill calling for it. D. Hill's got it. And that is how this ball game ends. Horsepower on the hill. Edward Cabrera for 7, scoreless. Bender with a 1-2-3 8th. And Ronnie Enriquez does the same in the 9th. And for the first time since 2008, your Fighting Fish have won 8 in a row.
Early. So they reacted and said, all right, let's go, breaking balls away.
First pitch, Stowers rips that one up the gut and through that hit the umpire Emil Jimenez. Jesus Sanchez around second. He comes in to score, but Jimenez is saying, hold on. Whoa. Hold on. That hit him on the leg, and that will in all likelihood.
The bench, and they're like, no, we see you as a future starter.
1-1. That one rolled over to short. Could be 2. Lee on to second for 1. On to first. Not in time. The fielder's choice. And that brings in the first run. Xavier Edwards scores from third base. It is an RBI for Otto Lopez. He's right back on that RBI groove. A 6-4 fielder's choice. It's 1-0 Marlins in the bottom of the first.
Right up there. Oh, goodness.
1-2. Otto on the move again, and Augustine smacks the ball out to left center. No doubt about it. Lucky number 13 for Augustine Ramirez. An ambush. 425 feet on the homer, and it's 3-0 Fish right away. This roster, it's the youngest roster in Major League Baseball. A 1 pitch. Sanchez rips that one off the mound. That pinballs into center field. That's in for a base hit. And Edwards around third. He comes in to score. Jesus Sanchez stings one.
WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
Well, here we go. 10 minutes away from first pitch, game 2 of this 3-game set. Marlins have won 4 consecutive series and looking to continue that streak here this afternoon. They got to win game 2 against the Milwaukee Brewers. Chad Patrick will go opposite Cal Quantrill here at 4:10. Steven Strom, Gabby Sanchez, and Jack McMullen. Those 2 have your call. Let's get to our Expo question today at Marlins Radio. When was the last time the Marlins lost by more than a run? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. It is time for Steve's Guarantee.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
Yeah, so we mentioned Chad Patrick and some of the weird splits that presents with him. Righties, 8 home runs, but the batting average at 237. We got the explanation from Jack McMullen. Left-handers, 1 home run, but the average is up at 283. I like Augustine Ramirez in this matchup here. Augustine Ramirez, of course, can hit a home run any given AB, but I'm going to go with an extra base hit for Augustine. He's done a nice job against fastballs. The slider is the pitch as far as how to attack Augustine Ramirez, but we mentioned the mix for Chad Patrick. Cutter at 42% of the time, four-seamer at 22% of the time, and the sinker at 22% of the time. So he's not throwing that slider for a reason. Maybe it's not as sharp, but I think this is a good matchup for Augustin Ramirez here tonight. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture of Gabby Sanchez. That man is always ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball, it's next on the Marlins Radio Network.
DQ